Hello and welcome back to Italy, to Tuscany. It's finally stopped raining, the sun has come out. It is time to introduce to you the motorhome that I will be using for the next 2 weeks on a tour of Tuscany, and it is this, the beautiful Laika Kosmo Emblema 509E. Let's take a closer look. Did I just do that in one take? Okay, so as ever, we'll start with a tour of the exterior and I'll give you some facts and figures about the Laika Kosmo Emblema 509E. So this is an Italian motorhome, as you can see, but I'll be obviously talking about the UK spec, which is actually very close to this indeed. The main difference of course being that in the UK we will have right-hand drive vehicles as opposed to this one, which is left-hand drive. And of course things like plug sockets etc. will be for the UK. But in its standard spec in the UK, this one will go through the tills at £65,340. And this one has had the awning and the optional electric drop-down bed fitted. So this one would be, as we see it, just shy of £68,000 in the UK. And you'll be pleased to know that things like those 16-inch alloy wheels are standard. Of course, we're on the Fiat Ducato Chassis as is normal, with a 140 bhp engine. The multimedia pack, which we'll also see in the cab, is also standard. The length of this motorhome is 7.41 metres, the width is 2.33 metres and the height is 2.94 metres. Now the MRO of this motorhome, before you've had any options added, such as the awning we can see here, is 2,983 kilos, and the out-of-the-box MTPLM is 3,500 kilos. So that gives you almost 500 kilos of payload. You can upgrade that MTPLM to 3,650 or even up to a meaty 4,400 kilo chassis if you really wanted to, but it's probably going to be simpler just to keep your payload down to 500 kilos. Water, now your fresh water is 90 litres and your wastewater is also 90 litres, and the wastewater tank is heated. Happy days. Let's have a look in this garage. Now I do like these little catches for the garage here. I prefer those to the ones you turn. I think they're really cool. We have a capacious garage. Capacious, I tell you. Capacious, which can take 150 kilos, which will be enough for 4 manual bikes, or don't know about e-bikes. Yeah, it could probably take 4 e-bikes as well. Light and socket, as we would come to expect, and some storage space there. So 2 doors with the garage. 2 doors are standard, which is very, very good. Sorry about my reflection, my shadow, but I've been waiting in the motorhome all day for the rain to stop. So we're just making the most of the weather now, folks. We've got the gas locker on this side as well. So there's your gas locker. Now one thing that does not come as standard, folks, and I haven't actually seen it on the options list, because obviously if you go to the Laika UK website you can have a play with the configurator, and I do like to have a tinkle with the configurator to build your dream motorhome. Don't remember seeing the a crash sensor on there, and I do like a crash sensor now on gas cylinders, because then you just don't have to worry about switching them on and off when you stop for a cup of tea on the motorway. Well, you know, you would stop in a service area, not actually on the motorway. Yeah, parking on the hard shoulder of the M1 to brew up is never a good look. There's a look at your alloys there though. Now another thing just to notice, folks, is that your mains electric hookup and your toilet cassette hatch are all on the awning side. And of course, even in the UK, the accommodation door will be on this side of the motorhome, even if it's right-hand drive, meaning that the door will open into the road if you park at the side of the road. So it's just something I'd like you to be aware of. Finally, before we go in, I would like to show you that we don't have any step, because what Laika have done, it's a very posh door, isn't it? I do like this door. Oh, and there's a light over the door as well, which always gets the Ditton seal of approval. But going back to the bottom of the door, before we go in, you'll see that they've built it so that the step is low and it's integrated into the body of the motorhome, so you don't need a second step. You just step straight in. As you can see, I'm struggling a bit with the mud now, so I will switch off the camera, go in, put my slippers on, and then we'll carry on with the tour of the interior. So yeah, normally I'd like to do a nice transition shot through the door, but to try and keep the mud out of the motorhome, I've had to do this in a two-part thing. Put on my travelling slippers and we'll kick off this way instead. So you can see there's a bin on the back of the door as we come in, and there is a locker to put your shoes, which is very useful, or bottles of water. And next to the door here, give you a little guided tour here, you've got your aerial socket, USBs, 12 volts, 240 volts. I have no idea what this hole is here. No idea. I'm sure someone can enlighten me. And then we have your control panel here, giving things like your water levels and battery levels, etc. So plugged into the mains here. And we have a Truma Combi 6, gas only for heating and hot water. This is upgradable to a 6E with the electric element for heating and hot water for an extra £500. Folks, if you're going to use this motorhome in the UK, I would strongly recommend on the configurator upgrading to a Truma Combi 6E. I would be very surprised if any dealers order this without the Truma Combi 6E. So you can bung another £500 onto that price I gave you, and that's roughly what you'd pay. It's still coming in well under £70,000 for a really luxurious, gorgeous motorhome. So I'm going to give you just a quick sweep of the interior at the moment to give you an idea. So the Emblema version of the Laika Kosmo comes with this beautiful cherry wood furniture. Absolutely love it. I think it's called something like Noche Italiano, Italian Nights. Whatever Italian nights have to do with wood grain, I have no idea, but it sounds good, doesn't it? Anything in Italian sounds good. Honestly, an Italian could just recite their shopping list and it would sound beautiful, wouldn't it? So we have, as I say, the ubiquitous Fiat Ducato cab, and the Emblema comes with a multimedia pack as standard. What's interesting, folks, is you have to switch it on here. So even if you're driving, you have to manually switch on the multimedia pack to get the display, to get music, and to get the reversing camera. Yes. This particular motorhome has a reversing camera, which is awesome. But the great thing is, I've tried this, and you can play your music with the engine off for as long as you like, which is great. And oh, we don't want ABBA. Thank you, ABBA. Yeah, we've got these USB-A, USB-C, they only work when the engine's running. Now what I do find is a bit, not great, is you've then got these two USBs here. I think one's for charging and one with the tail on here is for plugging your device in when you want to use the multimedia, which, do you know what, folks, it's just not integrated, is it? To have those wires, although we've got cup holders, look, cup holders, we're happy with cup holders. But yeah, those two wires sort of hanging down that you plug your devices in, not really fully integrated. But what I've been doing is I've been resting my phone on here and using Google Maps there, because as far as I can find, I can't get any Google Map integration, so I can't get any iPhone or Android phone integration with the multimedia, which is, in the year 2022, I think is getting a little bit outdated now. The Etrusco motorhomes I took out on the Ford chassis had Android and iPhone integration, but this one doesn't appear to have it. I've certainly not managed to get it to work, if it does. Obviously, folks, if I find there's any errors in this information, I will update the description below the video, so do check that out. But obviously the most important thing to do for up-to-date information is to contact your Laika dealer. Now we have a super lounge here, really lovely. I'm liking the upholstery. If you don't like the upholstery, it's not the end of the world. You can have the upholstery changed. There are options again on the configurator, things like cream leather, etc. That is a cost option, of course. This, what we're seeing now, is standard. And I think for standard, it's got that Italian style about it. I really like it. Underneath the table we have a socket. You can see, can you see that? My laptop is plugged into the socket, the table moves around, and we've got some good lighting as well. Loads of lighting, loads and loads of lighting, so that is good. And then above the living area we have this optional drop down bed. I think off the top of my head, folks, don't quote me, I think it's about £1,400 for the drop down bed. Now this is going to come in really useful on this trip, because I have the very lovely Sophia joining me in a couple of days, for a few days, and she'll be taking photos. So of course the great thing is we've each got our own sleeping area. So I'll probably be chivalrous and have the front, and I'll give Sophia the back bedroom to herself. So we'll give that a good workout during the trip, and I will report back in the full review of how I get on with the drop down bed. So now we turn our attention to the kitchen. And here's the kitchen. Let's put the lights on. Lighting in this motorhome is really good, very good. You know, it's not all fancy and tinkly, but it's good. It does the job. So as you can see here, we have a Thetford 3-burner hob, and one of the first things I had to do when I got this motorhome was go to the supermarket and buy one of these, because there's no spark ignition to the hob. Obviously in the UK you can specify if you want a cooker. Check with your Laika UK dealer, because if you get the Thetford Combi, you might get spark ignition with that. But as it comes, in Italy at least, you don't get spark ignition. Now one thing I think is so neat here, the washing up is not standard. It's the way you can clip the, if you're not doing it one-handed and holding a camera, is the way you can clip that there and give yourself a little bit more space in the kitchen. And not only that, folks, it not so much doubles as a chopping board, but it triples as a chopping board. So it's a sink cover, it's a chopping board, and it's a little tray. I think that is so cool, so cool. I know it's not new and I know it's not exclusive to Laika, but I like it. And then we're going to have the Ditton soft close test. Are we ready? Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm in soft close heaven, folks. I'm in soft close heaven. Oh, isn't that just so sweet? One thing we haven't got is a hook for the for my tea towel. I believe it should have a hook on the rail there, so I think that's probably missing from this particular van. That's a cupboard, in case you haven't seen what a cupboard looks like. And under the fridge here we have a proper drawer. So rather than having a flap where it folds down, you've got to scramble on the floor to get your food, you can open. I really like things like this. Attention to detail like that really, really impresses me. We have a enormous fridge freezer. So we've got all the bits and pieces in there. You can tell I've been to Cop Fee, a local co-op. It's stocked up with local fare, which is half the fun of any holiday. And then this, folks, is the bedroom and bathroom, or washroom should I say. So as you can see, you can completely separate the rear section off for privacy, which is great. So as I say, when Sophia comes to stay, we've each basically got our own room. And then just also worth pointing out that whoever is in using the rear bedroom, there is a privacy curtain here. So when if someone wants to use the washroom, obviously there's going to be only a limited amount of privacy, but at least there's going to be, shall we say, visual privacy from the bedroom for anyone wishing to use the washroom. So this is a good time to continue talking about the washroom. Electric flush toilet, sink, etc. Nothing really out of the ordinary here, just some cracking design. A little hecky roof light there. And of course, the mirror for the all-important hello. Sorry, has to be done. And then on the other side here of the on the back of the door, again, it's not new, it's not original, but I like it. The towel rail on the back of the door, very, very Owenheimer group, but it's fantastic. And we've got the shower here, so good place to put the rucksack during the day. And yeah, a nice private, nice separate shower with a hanging rail to hang your drying cloth that you might have used to wipe down the shower after your shower that morning. And finally, folks, into the bedroom. So as you can see, we have two single beds. Under the single beds on this side, as you might have come to expect, we have quite a large cupboard, and the true Macombi is in there. Here's a spoiler alert for when I do the full review, folks. Under the bed is never a good place to put the true Macombi. And then here's the main wardrobe, which has got my suitcase in it and a hanging rail there and a courtesy light. And this is the bedroom with a roof light. And we have shelves down the side, which is just, a great place to stuff your PJs and things like that. Got voile in here. Voile if you're feeling posh, neck curtains if you're not. And the two reading lights here in the bedroom do have USB sockets, so you can charge your devices at night. And You can either pop them there in the cupboard while they're charging, or if the lead's long enough, you can just put them on this suede cushion here. There is also a mains socket up there on that side of the motorhome, and you can see these shelves are deep enough for putting a cup, your cup of tea in the morning, glass of water at night, and your book at bedtime. Or you can put your book at bedtime in one of these little pockets here. So here we are, my lovely Laika Kosmo Emblema 509E. I think I'm going to be very happy with this motorhome for the next couple of weeks. Taking it on a tour of Tuscany, no idea where I'm going yet, but I'm really looking forward to this motorhome. So there you have it, folks. That was just a quick first look at this beautiful Laika Kosmo Emblema 509E. As always, there will be a full review of this motorhome at the end of this series of 6 videos. So that will be coming in a few weeks' time. A huge thank you to Laika UK, who have sponsored this video without influencing the content. Please do check them out. I'll leave a link in the description below to the Laika UK website, where you can find out more about the Kosmo Emblema 509E, and also you can give them a cheeky follow on social media, and then you can follow my tour in real time. So thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. As ever, if you did, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you don't already, and it just leaves me to say from Dougal, who's back home in Newest, and from me, thanks for tuning in.